What do you think of the valuation of Beyond Meat right now?
It's certainly a phenomenon. Even with the drop today, if you look at their performance just over the past week, it's still up over 30%. As you mentioned, up well over 400% from their IPO last month. And so I think what we're seeing, I think that the high valuation we're seeing still, even with today's drop, is a reflection of two things. One is this company and the growth and the earnings and the great, as JP Morgan put it, the huge revenue and profit potential for the future for Beyond. And part of it is a reflection of this space in general, this plant-based meat space, which is growing very quickly in the U.S. and projected to grow a whole lot more in the coming decade.
Yeah, Nick, that's a good point you raised there, in the sense that Beyond Meat right now maybe is the only publicly traded company if investors want to get into this area of agri-tech right now. But how much of a head start does it have on the competition that's coming?
You're exactly right. So our fund, Lever VC, we do early stage venture capital investing in companies in this space. And I can tell you that there is a number coming down the line that are going to have IPOs or very strong exits that are going to do really, really well. Beyond Meat is emerging now as one of the market leaders. If they hit their earnings projections for the year, that should put them in the #1 slot in the US, if not globally. But there are others coming. You look at Beyond Meat, they're in a few product categories: burgers, sausages, ground beef crumble. There's a lot of other categories out there in both the meat and the dairy side of things, and a lot of geographies around the world. So clearly they're emerging as a market leader. They're going to continue to fill that role, I think, for many years to come. But we're going to see other winners in the future as well.
Nick, I guess the other, related question is, what is the nature of that leadership? What is proprietary? What is actual intellectual property? What is just branding and, first to market and consumer preference and things like that? Because it does seem as if tremendous enthusiasm for this overall category is running through this one stock with 10 or 11 million shares freely floated on the market, and that's what explains a lot of this huge move in the price.
I think you're absolutely right. In terms of what sets Beyond Meat apart, I think it is two things. So I think it is both marketing. They've done an excellent job in terms of bringing on professional athletes like Kyrie Irving from the Boston Celtics and others who support these products, who use these products and say it improves their health and performance. A number of other things on the marketing side of the equation, but then also on the product itself. The reality is that they have one of the best, if not the best product in its class in the burger category and in the sausage category. And I think that's reflected in their sales generally, and also in some of the deals they've been able to strike with leading fast food companies like Carl's Jr., Del Taco, and we'll see who comes next.
And this isn't the only company, plant-based meat company, that you're invested in as well. Where else are you investing as a venture capitalist, and what else do you think will be coming in the pipeline, even beyond these types of burgers?
Yeah, so our fund, Lever VC, we focus entirely on this alternative protein space, both plant-based meat and dairy, as well as clean or so-called lab-created meat and egg and dairy products. And so there's a number of very exciting companies out there. We do primarily early-stage investing. For Beyond Meat, I invested in 2015 when they were a lot smaller and privately held. So there's a number of other companies in various sectors, both on the meat side and on the dairy side. We're excited about some companies in the U.S. We also see this market growing very quickly in Europe, with a lot of room for market leaders to emerge there, and a little bit in terms of a longer-term play, but also Asia, especially the Greater China region. There's huge pent-up demand for these products. There's a government push for consumers towards plant-based proteins. So we think not just in terms of product categories, but also in terms of geography, there's going to be some very big winners elsewhere around the world.
Okay, to bring this full circle, Nick, Beyond Meat specifically, stock's up 400% just since the IPO. Are you going to stay invested in this, or would you cash out?
The investment's still there. We'll see how they do. I think that probably the price will settle down a little bit after the drop today, coming after the JP Morgan report. That's all I can say for now. But I think that what we've seen so far is that the short sellers betting against Beyond Meat have not done very well, lost about 400 million, at least as of the last day or two. So I wouldn't bet against Beyond Meat, and I wouldn't bet against the plant-based meat space.